Head out, get ready to shell out. When people started the holiday on Friday, the average for a gallon of regular gas was $3.85. Today, it's $3.91. Jim Boyd is live in Newton, where travelers are feeling the pinch. Jim?
And that pinch is getting a lot tighter. Here, the price of gasoline, $3.99 a gallon. Don't be misled, a couple of the bulbs are out. No, but there are plenty of cars on the road, as you heard, despite the fact that the price tag is now $4 a gallon. Many families spent this unofficial start of the summer weekend traveling by car, doing so despite record high gasoline prices.
It's a nice long weekend. You want to spend it with your family and focus on that is really the most important part of the weekend.
I did make the trip, and I'm glad I did it.
This New Jersey motorist spent the long weekend in Maine. He says he did give the trip a lot of consideration.
I thought about it, and I said if it goes above $4, I'm probably not going to do the trip. So it was right on the edge of being able to do it.
But clearly many motorists took to the roads after making alterations in their plans.
We had plans on going this weekend to Cape Cod, but instead of that we stayed here at Boston and just enjoyed the city because we didn't want to spend that much because of the gas prices.
What we did this year is we didn't, instead of going away, we just stayed home and did day trips.
And of course we found people on the road today who felt they had no choice.
Yeah, I'm commuting to and from work, so I'm stuck with the price. There's nothing really I can cut down.
With many people out on the road, there were probably equally as many, perhaps even more, who decided to find alternatives to getting out on the highways. We'll hear from them coming up in my report at 6 o'clock. Reporting live in Newton, I'm Jim Boyd, News Center 5.
And before you hit the road, log on to thebostonchannel.com. We have an entire section dedicated to gas prices. Find out where to fill up cheap and how to conserve while you're driving.
Answer.
What you're going to hear a lot this summer is staycation, staying close to home because of the high cost of gas. This afternoon, our Jim Boyd talked to folks who hit the road for destinations near and far. Jim's live in Newton. Jim?
Well, Bob, clearly a different situation here. In this stretch of I-95 in Newton, traffic at best is moderate. Perhaps a lot of people decided that this was the weekend that they would look at the price of gas and decide to stay out of their cars altogether. Apparently many people here in Greater Boston looked at the highways, considered the price of gas, and then sought out alternatives.
I almost went up to Maine this weekend, and instead we decided to stay here.
Here for many was the Charles River Canoe and Kayak Rental in Newton.
And this is close, so it's not too far for me. So I would come here more than go down the Cape or go further than that.
They're almost $4 a gallon. It's a lot cheaper to stay close and get some exercise at the same time.
Some say they're considering cutting back on just about everything, looking at the implications not only of high gasoline prices, but increases in prices on everything.
A lot of my family's spread out throughout the country, and really at this point it's, really get a good phone plan and really keep things as local as possible, especially with gas prices, airline prices. Everything's really up.
Some say the accelerating gasoline prices should be considered some kind of signal.
This may be considered a wake-up call that we need to find, real alternative sources of fuel. Maybe it's for the best, ultimately.
Now, one motorist that I talked to today said that $4 a gallon was his high water mark, the point at which he would drive only when necessary. Perhaps I was talking to a trendsetter. Reporting live in Newton, I'm Jim Boyd, News Center 5.